Alright folks, welcome back to another Galaxy of Heroes video with Fat Phil. It's been a hot minute. I do apologize for no content, basically for a week here. I was traveling for work, and unfortunately I was just working some long hours. Now it's all stuff that I'm very familiar with, and I don't want to say I don't get paid extra because I'm salaried, but I get some perks along with that. When it comes to certain things, people are willing to give me some slack because, just for example, last week on Tuesday and Wednesday, I worked a combined about 30 hours, and that wasn't including any commute time, which was about an hour and a half to where I needed to go. So we got a lot of hours in last week. But, it's part of the job. It's inventory season for us, so I was doing some counting and things like that. Anyway, we've got a lot to catch up on here. We got anniversary news, the removal of assault battles. We got the Supreme Leader Kylo Ren lifter. I've got so many things. I'm probably going to forget stuff. This milestone things. I'm going to try to get to each of these. Maybe we'll cover them more in detail at later dates. I'm going to give you an overview of how I'm feeling about this. Let's give our shout out to the channel members for their faith and support. Appreciate you guys. Thank you again for just sticking around with me. I know I'm pretty absent lately, but I promise I am trying my best to get back into the swing of things. So let's get in here, guys. Let's talk about all this new stuff. So I am going to just say right now that a lot of this video will be speculation on why I think this is happening. I'm a big, hey, why is this happening? Hey, I have some theories, whatever you want to say, right? So let's get started here. Let's talk about the removal of assault battles. So with the addition of now Duel of the Fates and this Peridia Patrol assault battle, Capital Games has come out and said, yeah, we're going to be removing some of those older ones because we want to keep the amount of assault battles in a month constant. That's their way of saying we don't want to give you any extra rewards. That's literally what it is. And what kind of really pisses me off about this is that, let's say they start creating more of these assault battles like Duel of the Fates and Peridia Patrol. Do they end up entering into that rotation where, hey, maybe there's a month where we don't get Duel of the Fates? Because the investment you made here was a very specific investment for the assault battle or for Peridia Patrol, right? That those are specific things that we're making investments on. The places of power assault battle where we're battling Jedi, you're gonna build those Sith that beat that regardless. So it's a little bit different when you're taking characters to specific relic levels for these assault battles. That's where I think this rotation is really bad. And honestly, the players who hurt the most here are all of you in that middle part of the game where these middle assault battles are a great source of Kyrotex and signal data for you. With that disappearing and getting replaced by stuff where you're not going to get good rewards because Duel of the Fates and Peridia Patrol require, relic characters. If you're not getting there, you're missing out. So I feel bad, and it does piss me off a little bit. It feels like a slap in the face to the free-to-play community. I don't like it. CG, this is coming from someone who tries to defend you at every turn. I should say tries to defend you when you deserve it. You don't deserve it here. This is a shambles. You should just put them all in the game. You're not giving us all that much stuff. This isn't like you're giving us 5,000 crystals worth of stuff here. It's a nice thing. And again, to say one thing that I've told you for years, I have said, hey, assault battles are meant to be a bonus reward. They're not something that you specifically build your account around. They should be viewed as something, hey, I get a bonus for building this really good team. So I would say that I have put warnings out there that you don't want to make assault battles into anything more than bonus. So there's a little bit of this, hey, I don't want to say I told you so, because I never thought they would actually cancel assault battles. But I've always told you, hey, pump the brakes. Remember, they're a bonus. They're not something to be relied upon as a sole source of Kyrotech or signal data, right? So that's the assault battle piece. Then next, let's kind of cover this Reay lifter unit for Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. She's not yet in the game. So I am pretty pumped about this. I am not going to lie. I am really, really happy about it. I think that this is something that is kind of long overdue, if I'm honest. We've definitely needed her. I'm trying to pull her up right now. There we go. All right, let's flip over to the forums here. So there we go. That's good. All right, there we go. So we got the Reay version here. This is a conquest unit, right? And she's an attacker, first order, and Sith. So not an unaligned force user. And I think that's an extremely interesting signifier there because, right, what you want to think about now is when you're looking at this game and you think about one of the characters that we've used pretty frequently with Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, and that was Terran Malicos. In 3v3, one of the popular teams is Terran Malicos, Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, and Kylo Ren Unmasked, right? That is a team that I've used plenty of times. Reay going to be kind of taking that spot, which kind of puts Malicos back on the Seer Jinda team. So I think this is a good change, but it also does limit the way that you can use SLKR as that kind of UFU, right? Because now we've got Reay, who's a Sith. And also just bear in mind that her as a Sith, there could be some interesting things here in other game modes where we might be able to use her under a Sith team if that was necessary. I'm not saying that's completely necessary, but it could happen, right? So, again, finally getting that lifter for Kylo, which is awesome. She's got the Grand Arena Omicrons, so outside of GAC, we'll have to see how she operates inside. We can obviously assume that this team is going to be friggin' amazing. Again, I'm not going to get into the whole kit reveal here. I just don't see that happening. They did say they had some fun with her on Starkiller comps with Kylo Ren Unmasked in 3v3, so I think that is cool. Again, kind of giving you an additional use for this character if you somehow don't have Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. So, art was not ready prior for release. We will add once acquired. Alright, fine. So, this attack ignores 50% protection. If the enemy had full health or protection up at the start of this attack, attack again, max 3 attacks total. On her turn, if she deals at least 3 instances of damage, target enemy is feared, which can't be resisted. So that's very powerful. Especially what I think this character could do, not just allow Kylo to be better offensively, but I think this will allow him to be used on defense a little bit more. There are a couple of teams that beat Supreme Leader Kylo Ren on defense that don't require Galactic Legend, and I think she might be able to kind of put a stop to that, right? Next text is a special. Deal physical damage to all enemies, then attack again. If there is a defeated enemy, First Order allies gain Retaliate and Retribution for 2 turns. If Kylo Ren is in the leader slot, he gains 10% ultimate charge. So that is really important there. One of the weaknesses of Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, he doesn't gain as much ultimate when he's not critically hitting. This ability, giving him 10% charge is huge, right? That's a big bonus there. And it's not only that, but you're dealing damage to all enemies and attacking the target again. So you think in 5v5, that's 5 instances of damage. And if we go back to Supreme Leader Kylo Ren's kit, in his ultimate, it says, hey, he gains 2% whenever a dark side deals physical or special damage, increased to 5 on a critical hit. So, and I moved my mods off, by the way, for Raid. Don't think I didn't have him modded. So this right here is dealing 6 instances of damage and then giving you 10% ultimate charge. So if she scores 6 critical hits, right, that is 40% ultimate charge from this. If she doesn't score critical hits, you're getting, 22% ultimate charge, which is still a lot. So we love to see that, right? Again, I think Reay is going to be really good for juicing Kylo's ultimate ability, right? While in Grand Arenas, there's a lot of stuff here. Again, I didn't want to get into everything. I just wanted to primarily talk about that additional ultimate charge of allowing Supreme Leader Kylo Ren to get there faster. I think that is going to be a very, very important element to her kit, right? And then I'm trying to see here where it talks. I know there was some other stuff that it talks about, but I think this will allow Supreme Leader Kylo Ren to compete with Jedi Master Kenobi. There's Revive. I did see Protection Recovery somewhere, I believe. While she's debuffed, she has a 50% speed. I mean, there's some really good things in this kit. I think it is going to allow Kylo to beat Jedi Master Kenobi for sure, and I think much more consistently. I'd also see him kind of being that GL that maybe is really good defensively to sort of force out certain Galactic Legends that otherwise were kind of manhandling this guy. So I'm really happy. There is one area I'm nervous on with this. The only area I am nervous on is how will this marry up to the release of Ahsoka? Will this be an Ahsoka counter? Will Ahsoka manhandle this team? And what beats this now, right? That's kind of where my mind is going. Not just on, what will it beat, but what will it take to beat this defensively? So I think that's definitely going to be an element here that I am looking for. The next thing we need to discuss here is this whole change to episodes, right? And episodes are a big change here. Again, where is it? It's somewhere here. Let me see. Yeah, I just want to show the rewards, really. So this whole change to episodes that they're going to, where we're basically going to have more structure to the game, I think it's very good in the sense of adding structure. But it's a $20 pass that you can purchase. I think it's going to be, every 3 months or so. So there's one caveat here that I'm just going to say to play devil's advocate. One area I'm not a fan of with this, I feel that this, again, gives players who are spending lightly an advantage. Now, I've said for a long time that that's a good thing. We need to get people to spend money. But it's now there's another avenue for people who are maybe light spenders to get a significant advantage. And when you look at the advantage you're getting for $20, 20 extra shards of Huyang, extra episode currency to be able to use in the store, full Kyrotex, right? Full Kyrotex, droid brains, Gerda keypads, air magnifiers, impulse detectors. All of these things are crazy, right? Those are really, really good. Honestly, I look at this as man, additional 20 shards of General Syndulla will be granted as a reward from a past exclusive quest when she arrives. So again, 40 new shards. I mean, that is really, really, for $20, that is one of the best packs I've probably ever seen. Right? I'm looking at that man, use my streamer money a little bit. That is freaking unreal, right? Shipment costs. All shipments refresh each week, so you can get extra abilities, right? You can get extra Omicrons there. Again, character shards. Characters are available, or those at launch will rotate over time. So, again, some pretty decent characters here. Nothing crazy, but I think some of those Inquisitorious characters, that's going to be really useful there. Bosk, I mean, there's some characters I don't know that we really need this, like Mando, but putting the Inquisitors in there, I'm a big fan of that. Relic materials, again, being able to purchase carbonite circuit boards, those, I think, is a solid change. Again, look at the pricing of bronze wirings is insane, but for carbonite circuit boards, that's really solid. You can purchase mods. That's really, really nice, right? And then you can purchase mod slicing materials. Again, love to see that. I always need mod slicing materials. Something I'm going to be really, really looking forward to there. Injector Salvage, Kyrotech, I'm not really going to be purchasing those. And then the list above is highlighting the most significance. There's much more gear available, anywhere from 200 to 1,000. So yeah, some really, really good changes here. I like this from the standpoint that I do believe it's going to give us more freedom as to what we're purchasing. It's taking the place of Galactic Challenges, which there's some good and there's some bad to that. I would say the one change I do like is that as soon as you earn the reward, you're going to be able to get it. Right? That's an important part of this that I think we need to be cognizant of. Think about that for some of those Galactic Challenges, you're waiting 3 days to get the rewards from that. Now it's going to be an immediate impact into your account, and that's really good. Particularly when I look at those mod slicing materials, that's a big part of this, right? Now, the other thing to consider here again is that you have to earn points along this. It's not like this is just gifted to you. You've got to participate in the game. You've got to earn points to get there. So that pass is only going to be as helpful as you can make it, right? That you're not going to be able to just purchase this pass and do the bare minimum. You're still going to have to play the game extensively in order to get the full advantage of those pass rewards. So make sure you are kind of thinking through that, because that is an important part of this, right? And again, the extra shards, I mean, that's huge, right? That's a big, big deal here. So I do like this from the standpoint that from a, hey, giving you some rewards, giving you them right away, I definitely can see where if you are free to play and you're not willing to purchase this pass, you are definitely going to be falling behind. You think just for the sake of argument here, it's a $20 pass, you're going to purchase this, say you spend $80 a year on this, excuse me, give or take. So a full Relic 9 material, right? A full, 2 full Relic 8 materials. Zimital cards, Omicrons. You're going to be getting a lot of extra resources from this that are well worth more than $20. And that's, that's worth more than $80 over the course of a year with purchasing this a bunch of times. So I definitely can see the value here, and I think that it's, again, something to really kind of keep an eye out and look for. What I will be interested in is to see how long it takes to get some of these rewards. How quickly will you be able to earn these? What are you going to have to do? These 5 droid brains and Gerda keypads, are they kind of spaced throughout that bonus track, right? So I do want to make sure that we are kind of looking at that. But there's a lot of stuff in here that I think is pretty good. Looking forward to kind of getting some of those pieces there and making sure that we're kind of crushing through that, right? So, in terms of then finally getting into the anniversary rewards here, right? Which I'm sure I've missed something, which I apologize. But we got the anniversary rewards, and I'm going to be honest, there's some decent stuff here, but like, we got our Clone Wars Chewie shards, like the character shards. Why couldn't we have gotten any of these for Shin, Merrick? They really are like cutting it off at, hey, nothing for Baylan, nothing for Ahsoka. And I'm going to be perfectly honest, I think that's a bit cheap on their part. Like, you had bonus drops for a lot of these characters. Like, Mando has been in the game for how long? Like, this feels a little bit cheap to me. I feel like we could have, used some different characters. 25 Zetas is nice. Kyra Tech, yeah, it is what it is, right? But the pieces here, I don't know. I feel like we could have gotten more Kyra Tech. I don't know that many of us are in need of these pieces right now. Maybe I'm wrong, but like core gear is something that like should just, yeah. No blue signal data. Like, come on. No Relicator 9 pieces. I don't know. I think this is a bit light. Being just perfectly honest, I think it's a bit light. I feel like it's been better in other years, or maybe I'm just kind of in a negative mood right now. But this feels a bit light for a 9-year anniversary. I feel like they really skimped out on the rewards that are actually helping us. And that's been something of a trend that I've been noticing a lot lately. That it seems like they're pulling back in certain areas. That they don't want us to have certain things. Like with the whole assault battle change. With the way that GAC with the skill squish is going on. Like, a lot of players are feeling that and missing out on crystals. It feels like they're trying to squeeze us right now. And I feel that it's because there's, again, I always say this, there's something coming, right? There's always something coming. Like this kind of episode change, this past, they're not just doing this there's something coming in the game that I think is going to require us to be either engaged more or playing the game differently. And I think they were getting a little bit nervous that we were progressing through the game at a rate that maybe wasn't sustainable for them to release certain content. That when you look at like my guild, you look at others, like we are doing some really, really good things. And I think some people just really are more or less, what's the wording here? Feel like there's some elements here that they're trying to pull back on rewards because they don't want us to get there, and that they want to keep, the free-to-play community kind of force-fed less rewards, right? I'm rambling a little bit. I did want to give a massive shout out here to my guild, Sigma Alliance Mandalorians. We achieved 43 stars, which I think makes us the lowest galactic power guild to hit 43. I could be wrong on that. Somebody might have been able to do it with less than us, but I think we're definitely on the lower end at 607 million. Massive shout out to our officers and to the players in general, guys. Like, we crushed it. We are doing so well. The officers have fine-tuned us with our operations assignments to be able to make sure we're doing combat missions. Players are, one of the things that we do is we're like, hey, when this planet gets to 250, tag the officers. And it's we're clicking. I love it. Really great work, guys. And even more so, we also are now doing casual raids and able to earn the 416 million prize box. So really proud of this guild, guys. I'm very, very satisfied. We're doing a great job. Wanted to give that shout. Finally, here at the end, I did want to mention these packs in here. This Legends Trove is ridiculous. You're paying more here than you would in shipments. Don't buy that. This is a joke. I know Egnard's ripped this to pieces, and rightfully so. I do want to talk about these packs here. So, the Shard Shot pack, I think this is one of those ones that, like, I would say, I'm considering buying this for the memes. So, you guys have to make me do this in another video. I got, a week to do this. I only need 3 characters out of this. I need Tusken Raider, or the Tusken Warrior. I need Sana, and I need Hondo, right? So, like, Otherwise, I have everybody. But I think for a lot of people, for 8,000 Shard Shop currency, I think this is well worth the risk. Especially when you need a bunch of these characters. I think that's well worth the risk. You know, worst comes to worst, you lose some Shard Shop currency, but best case scenario, you save yourself a ton of farming. These crystal packs are a bit more of a gamble because there are some stinkers in here, right? There's absolutely some stinkers in here. And think that some of you may have gotten these characters from Lightspeed bundles as well. So I think these packs have definitely lost some of the value now that Lightspeed bundles are here, because many of you might have purchased some of these bundles where you have these characters, you're not really using them, but they're at relics already. So be careful with these. You need a lot of the characters in here to make this really worth it. Personally, this is the one that I would go with. I love this pack. I think this is one that they should offer like once a month. Yeah, I love that pack. And then I did see this interesting bundle down here. So this is on the web store for 1,500 crystals. You get a variety of these resources. Now, the thing is, if you take the least amount, if you get the least amount of crystals, the least amount of Cantina, and the least amount of Chirotech, you're losing about 250 crystals when you purchase this. Because you're getting 500 Cantina energy, which is worth, say about, what, 400 crystals. You're getting 560 crystals worth of Chirotech. And you're getting, wait a second, what the heck? 30% for 10? Oh, no, yeah, never mind. I read this wrong. This is way worse. 30% chance for 10 of either this or this. 15 for either this or this, and 5. Somehow, what are they saying there? That it's 30% for each of those things? Like, and that's how it adds up to 100? It just doesn't make sense. That math is confusing. I was going to say, the one thing I like about this pack, the wording down here is really confusing me, and maybe I'm just, like, too tired to think about it. But there is a legitimate chance that, like, you make money out of this if you get the crystals, right? Like, you could legitimately make money from this. Not that there's a great chance of that, but I just thought it was interesting, right? I hadn't really seen a pack like that before where, like, you're literally going to completely profit and then get everything else. Like, that, I just thought that was an interesting kind of pack. I'd love if the wording was changed to really be able to tell the full value. I'm not going to purchase it, but for people who really need those resources, maybe it's worth the gamble. And then this one here, I don't know, for 15 bucks. I'm not the biggest fan of that, but that's just me. Anyways, guys, a lot of stuff to cover. I'm sure I missed things. I'll try to get more detail out here for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Again, like, subscribe, comment. I love you all. May the force be with you, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, my friends.